Braddock Road Metro Station. We're waiting on a Blue Line train to take us to Arlington Cemetery. That is not it. And from Arlington, throughout the rest of the day, we're not really sure what we're going to do. We haven't really planned that far ahead. This was our flex day, kind of our play it by ear day. So we're doing Arlington, and then we're going to play it by ear and find something else to do after that. But Arlington should be a pretty humbling experience. So we'll see what it holds in store for us today.
Probably in Washington National Airport.
So we're here at Arlington, and this place is pretty much devoid of any maps or any instructions on how to get around. So we're trying to find the Marine Corps Memorial, and the guy that works here that gave me directions was like, go down the hill, up the road, turn right. When it levels out, there'll be a yellow line on the road, follow the yellow line to a footpath, and the footpath goes to the memorial. Haven't seen a yellow line, and the road is not leveling out. I've seen one map over here in the grass since we got here, and that was at the entrance, and yeah, we're pretty much lost in Arlington Cemetery. That's the current status.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? I am Staff Sergeant Deal of the 3rd Infantry Regiment, United States Army, Guard of Honor, Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. The ceremony that you are about to witness is the changing of the guard. In keeping with the dignity of this ceremony, it is requested that everyone remain silent and standing. Thank you. Forward! Halt! Guards! Halt! Halt! Out! Ready! Face! Present! Out! Halt! Out! Ready! Face! Pass! On your order. Pose and order. Remain as directed. Order. Acknowledge. Ready. Pace. Present. Out. Right shoulder. Out. Post. Right. Pace. Forward. Push. Halt. Halt. All out. Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The ceremony that you are about to witness is an Army wreath-laying ceremony to be conducted by Watkins Junior High. It is requested that everyone remain silent and standing during this ceremony. All military personnel in uniform will render the hand salute, and it is appropriate for all others to place their right hand over their heart upon the command of present arms. Thank you.
So this is the Arlington house behind me, which is under construction like everything else in Washington this time of year, and you can't see it, so go figure. Still have not located the Iwo Jima Memorial. Have now been told that it's apparently outside of the main cemetery and is a 9-minute drive from where I'm standing, so probably not walking to that right now. So this has kind of been a mess, really. I'm not impressed at all with the navigation around here. I finally found another map, which means in the probably 2 hours we've been here, I've seen 2 maps, and this place is huge. That's kind of pathetic when your tax dollars pay for it. And the handheld maps they charge $6 for. So I guess we're gonna keep hunting and trying to find things. So we're back at the metro station at Arlington Cemetery, and basically we didn't get to see anything. We watched the changing of the guard at the Tomb of the Unknowns, and that was it. The Iwo Jima Memorial was a 30-minute walk from the Tomb of the Unknowns, and it's about a 40-mile-an-hour wind today, and I'm like windburnt, and that's a lot of walking to go see that. And then the Arlington house is closed for renovations, as you saw, so now we're gonna go find something else to do with it. So we're done with lunch. That place was a little bit strange. Like, you have a waiter, but they don't do anything but bring you drinks. Everything else you have to go get yourself, and it was pretty expensive, but it was good. Now we're just waiting on a train to take us a couple blocks to Smithsonian to another museum. So we're at the end of day 3 here in Washington. As you can see, today we went to several different places, all of which were kind of lacking based on what we expected them to be. Arlington National Cemetery was vast, to say the least. And what we hadn't expected is that there's no easy way to get around in there unless you want to pay money. Everything in there cost extra money, including a map. So a map was $6. I spent $40 in the gift shop and didn't want to spend $6 more on a map, thinking we wouldn't need it. Kind of my bad, but then again, when you spend that kind of money in the gift shop that goes towards keeping the place up, you'd think you could get $1 piece of paper without having to pay for it. So we ended up looking for the Iwo Jima Memorial. There are no signs or directions in that place whatsoever. We saw 2 maps the whole time we were in there. One was at a tram stop and one was at the entrance. So we ended up looking for the Iwo Jima Marine Corps Memorial, couldn't find it, asked somebody, and found out it was actually off property. It wasn't even in the cemetery. You have to like go across some roads, and we ended up mapping it on Google, and it was a 30-minute walk from the Tomb of the Unknowns, which is where we were at the time we were told it was off property. So we didn't even get to go to that. We're going to try to go back and hit that tomorrow by driving to it, because that's the fastest way to get to it. The changing of the guards was by far probably the most humbling thing that we did today. That is definitely worth going to. We tried to go to the Arlington house, which is Robert E. Lee's house on the Arlington Cemetery property, and it's closed for renovations, which has kind of been the theme of my entire trip. The Air and Space Museum, half of it was closed for renovations. The American History Museum, the entire 3rd floor except for 2 galleries, is closed for renovations. The Arlington house, closed for renovations. The White House has construction equipment all over the outside of it on one side because they're putting up a new fence, and you can't even get a good picture of it. So construction and being closed for renovations has pretty much been the theme of my trip. We went and ate a very nice lunch at a barbecue place that was just north of National Mall, and then we went to the American History Museum, which in my opinion was kind of lacking. I think the Smithsonian museums really get hyped up as being like the biggest, baddest, greatest museums in the United States, and most of them just are not. Now the Holocaust Museum absolutely exceeded expectations, but the Air and Space Museum downtown Washington, as well as the American History Museum, not even close to what my expectations were. I've been to a lot better museums than those. Is what it is. Tomorrow is Udvar Hazy Center, and try to get back to the Marine Corps Iwo Jima Memorial. Udvar Hazy is the off-site Air and Space Museum for the Smithsonian. It is in a field in Chantilly, I don't really know how to pronounce it. It's another part of Virginia. It's like 30 minutes from Washington. That is a much bigger Air and Space Museum. It contains the real Space Shuttle Discovery and a bunch of other full-size aircraft. So my hopes are up here for it, and I hope that it meets expectations. We'll see. That's all I have for you today. Be sure to watch day 4, which will be filmed tomorrow. Instagram links in the description. As always, like and subscribe, and have a nice day.